Why are the tomatoes not in the garden yet? A number of reasons. Garden wasn't prepped, the weather's not prepped, and I can't put these tender ones out there with the wind increasing and the chill that's coming in tonight. So, gotta be patient. Huh, T-Rex? Hey, you're not T-Rex. There's the real T-Rex. I knew you were around here. Ready? Seriously, you asked, am I ready? Am I always ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, sensed a little hesitancy there, T-Rex. This is not what we expected to come out the door to this morning. I thought there'd be downpours, tropical downpours, maybe some wind from the south. I hear some dripping. It did rain. Oh, there's Steve. Yeah, we got a little rain. Underachiever, though, at my house. 63 degrees. We are clearly on the warm side of this system. It is an incredibly impressive weather system. I don't want to call it a storm or a nor'easter or a tropical system. It looks like a hybrid of all three of those, though. And the central pressure on this low is 987 millibars and deepening. So where's the wind? What is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure. And there has to be a gradient. So the pressure can be as low as you want. If there's no high pressure, there's not going to be any wind. Goes to ferry on a Saturday route, May 31st. The last day of meteorological spring, first day of meteorological summer. Tomorrow, also the first day of hurricane season. And probably going to have to switch from the GFS to the Euro. When I unzoom, I can talk more quietly. So, what is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure, and usually the boats point into the wind. Leif's boat is pointed to the west. George's boat is pointed to the east. What's in control here? I think Leif is in the current of an outgoing tide, and George is pointing into the wind, and then these other ones are undecisive. And look at the brightness on the horizon. Can I show you the sky this morning at Block Island, Rhode Island at 8 o'clock? Perfect blue sky. The eye of the storm. Not really the eye, but there is definitely a dry slot. Should we look at this as a massive satellite image first? Oh, we break for birds. I also feel a little wind on my microphone. Egret. The real wide satellite imagery. Dust coming off of Africa. Very dirty air crossing the Atlantic Ocean toward New England. Smoke coming off the wildfires in Canada, down through the Mississippi Valley, up toward New England. Very dirty air coming toward New England. But before it gets here, and by the way, we might get more than just dust coming from Africa. Before that gets here, let's look at the closer up satellite imagery. And it's a little closer up. This front extends south all the way to Florida. It's a massive storm system. And the center of the low is coming over New York City. And we have a dry slot. And there's just a perfectly clean, clear sky coming across Narragansett Bay first thing this morning into where I am standing. And those bubbling cumulus clouds, tremendous downpours rotating about the broad circulation of this low pressure system. Bands of real heavy rain. First thing this morning, there was a flash flood warning in effect. That's the green on this radar image from WeatherTap, where 2 to 4 inches of rain have fallen where northeastern Pennsylvania meets southeastern New York. And if we look at some of the CocoRa's numbers from first thing this morning, they come out at 7 a.m. It was still raining. Just north of New York City. What do they call that? Upstate? I always thought upstate was way out near Buffalo, but apparently the people that live near New York City, upstate is just a few miles out of the city. And 3.3 inches in Beacon, New York, and still coming. And we can show 2 inches plus in the Berkshires, where it was still pouring this morning. And then you come over to eastern Massachusetts, and some of the least amount of rain right here near my house. It shows about a 0.13 on CocoRa's. And then the rain gauges in South Dennis on Cape Cod, where I also have planted some seed, are showing 0.5. So Cape Cod got more rain than Weymouth. All right, time out for the garden here. The peony all popped last night. These all popped last night, as you'll see in the end more in a few minutes. This tree shed its vegetation with the help of TK and a chainsaw, which we will also see in and more. Sorry, Doug, I know it's set. Where are you going? Steve? I know, it's fun. Who doesn't want to go down the beach? Look at all the progress they made. They started laying rebar, but again, more on that later. We got some weather to do. Steve, come on, come this way. You got Four Paw Drive. Who walks their cat and does the forecast? I know, it's a challenging walk there, isn't it, Steve? Come on, you can do it. Come on, you're a cat. You can go up trees. Although I've never seen you go up a tree. It's more like it. Let's go over and check the rain gauge, the official number for TK. Oh, all right, 0.22. I don't know when that fell, but 0.22 out of a 987 millibar and deepening low. It's not that impressive, is it? It's because it's got a broad center of circulation. So 11 days ago, we were on Cape Cod and the wind was gusting 70 miles per hour. That low pressure system was 997. In other words, it was 10 millibars weaker than this one. So why was it so much more windy 11 days ago on that Thursday storm? Because here's the map from that Thursday. And it showed high pressure across from Hudson Bay to Labrador. And so you had that strong high against, this is strengthening low. It was a strengthening low, but it was occluding and it was weakening by the next day. This one, on the other hand, there's low pressure to our north today. This is the map, 994 low on a front. And that low is, it's weakening and it's gonna send a front our way. And we're gonna have a merge of our current storm. Yeah, I'm calling it a storm, even though it's not that windy right here. And when that cold front comes in tonight and tomorrow, then the wind is really gonna ramp up. The regional roundup first thing this morning near New York City, there were some winds gusting 25. I saw a 35 on there, but it had weakened. So the center of the circulation is right over southwestern Connecticut. And you see on Nantucket, it was from the southeast gusting 25. And then in most of western New York and Pennsylvania, had some winds of 20 to 25 miles an hour. So it is going to become much more windy if it is not windy at your house now. And if it's downpouring at your house now, probably it's going to let up. I should probably get to the NAM, talk about this. All right, the NAM, it did an okay job. I mean, it did have bands of heavier rain in eastern New England, but the heaviest rain widespread was supposed to be in New York and western Massachusetts and Vermont, and that is still the case. So this low pressure system is stuck underneath an upper level low, so it's kind of wobbling around. You see it going kind of 987, not really moving, kind of just stumbling around. The rain continues in New York and Vermont and New Hampshire, and now this afternoon you get it back down to about 983 and deepening and strengthening as it moves up through the presidential range of New Hampshire. Now the isobars are tightening up. Now you're getting wind, and it looks like almost an evening shower or squall coming right into Boston. So it's going to be very exciting sky, and it's going to get windy and much colder tonight. And the low pressure system goes up into Canada. And now you see that 540 decameter, cold enough for snow up in the sky coming in on June 1st across New York. But it's not really phasing with the center of the storm. It's kind of just an upper level low going over. So that means instability tomorrow and just a chance for a shower. And then tomorrow night, that 540 is holding together, and it's actually going right over Connecticut and over Cape Cod. I'll stop it here now at 8 o'clock on Monday morning. This is June 2nd. And look at the 540 line is right over P-Town. That's the cold enough for snow line on the second day of June. And you see the green in New Hampshire and Maine with the blue. So now it looks like it might snow in the higher elevations of New Hampshire and Maine, maybe Vermont too. I'm saying above probably 3,500 feet, maybe 3,000 feet on Monday morning as that upper low goes by. And the high pressure system's really not here yet, so very unstable and through Monday. And as for QPF, most of the precipitation's today. And here's the QPF, how much rain. And there's that red 2 inches, and then yellow, higher elevations from the Berkshires through Vermont to northern New Hampshire, where it's going to rain many more hours, end up with a few 3-inch amounts. So their flood advisories actually went into effect this morning in southern Vermont, was it? And so more flood advisories are likely. Rivers are going to come up, and there could be some ponding on streets. But I think that it's been just dry enough that we're not going to have widespread flooding with this. Some of the May rainfall amounts, well, there's the final number there. That's through 2 o'clock on Monday. And not much more coming at eastern Massachusetts, just a few showers and downpours. Okay, time out to look at the lettuce. This lettuce should be a foot tall by now, but the rabbits keep eating it. So no lettuce for TK. Oh yes, and thank you, Mark Kipe, for commenting last week in Brant Rock and Marshfield. Mark Kipe, bought my first surfboard ever from Northeast Surf, and he said that the foam on your plants is likely from spittle bugs. When you said spittle, I thought that was kind of a joke. What, bugs are spitting? But it does feel like saliva. Gross. Spittle bugs. I can't see them, but thank you, Mark. I love all the comments. Eric, how's the New Hampshire Speedway doing? How's the drag racing going? It started off wet, but it should dry out this afternoon. And you also commented on how difficult it was to do plantings this spring because of the erosion and the rain, that is. And sure enough, many reports, Sally in the Pioneer Valley, Sally Peters contributes. And what'd you say you had? Close to 10 inches of rain this month of May. So yeah, we've had way too much rain this month of May. And it's always come on a Saturday. Here it is Saturday, but it's beautiful at my house right now. Guess what else we have? Talk louder. T-Rex, look at me. You're not in a hurry, you viewers, are you? We got groomed beaches. Groomers, we've got fresh tracks, corduroy on our sand. So the status of these beaches is they will be open. That's the new beach, they call it, the George Lane Beach. Ready for business, as suddenly summer is back in the forecast next week. And this is going to be cordoned off while they pour cement and build a concourse to connect the two, but that's not going to be done until after summertime. So the other beach, West Augusta over there, also prepped. There's a construction zone on the right side, and then it's all ready for visitors. So come on to Weymouth. The sun's coming out here today. All right, we're going to stick with the GFS for one more day. Tomorrow starts hurricane season, and we're probably going to switch to the Euro because the GFS tries to generate a hurricane just about every run all summer long, even though it's been pretty good to us. Oh, here's a little photo op of T-Rex watching the groomers. We love freshies. All right, here's the GFS. You hear me better now. Showing our low pressure system. It's done a good job with the track of this, going right across central New England today. The rain's heavy enough for flooding in spots, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. The cold air lagging just behind. I'll spare you the 850 map because it's so lengthy already. 850 being cold enough for snow coming into New England tomorrow as we dry out. And you got the upper level low here. And very hot weather going up through the middle of the nation. And the high pressure system gradually comes in here. That low to our north is going to weaken. We are going to have increasing high pressure. The wind is going to decrease after being very windy tonight and tomorrow. And most of any rain and snow is going to stay north in Canada, although our mountains may get frosted a little. And then the warm front's coming through here Wednesday. Wednesday, suddenly summer. The thickness goes up to 570. Temperature's going to jump into the 80s. Maybe still a light sea breeze, so it could be cooler at the coast. And beach weather is here starting Wednesday and continuing through next week, although we will be dodging next weekend. But we will be dodging showers and thunderstorms, including again next Saturday. Here's the front coming in with some moisture remnant from weak tropical cyclone Alvin coming out of the Pacific, so that juices up the front a little bit, but it looks less juicy today. Friday night and Saturday, we'll get these little waves of low pressure, 10, 14 waves, but in a hot air mass. That's all it's going to take to generate heavy scattered thunderstorms. Temperatures in the 80s to near 90. Humidity is going to come up. There's going to be smoke in our sky next week, a little bit like happened 2 years ago. It's going to be some of the most smoky skies we've seen in some time. Thunderstorms try and clean out the air, and then next Saturday into Sunday, the front is stalled over us, and now this takes us out to Monday, June 9th. That's 240 hours, and we are on the boundary between some new cool trying to come south from Canada and some hot weather, and that means showers and thunderstorms. So a very summer-like pattern starting here next Wednesday and continuing into the following week, and perhaps the month, and into August and September. But if we, sorry, I'm gonna go back to that. I was just staring at this bird. Can't stop. I'm gonna go back to that 240-hour map and talk about issues with the GFS. There's the 240-hour map again. We're gonna slide south, and sorry, I was zoomed in on the bird. Okay, now you can hear me better. Slide that map south, and there's a hurricane near Tampa, or a tropical cyclone. That's the GFS. And the GFS would have that tropical cyclone running the coast and coming over Cape Cod on Wednesday, June 11th. And for this reason, I'm going to stop using the GFS starting tomorrow, because here's the Euro at the same exact time out there on Monday, June 9th. There is a wave off of North Carolina, a wave on a front. That's not a tropical cyclone. And look at Florida. Looks fine. No weather in Florida. Now, I'm not saying the GFS is definitely wrong, but I'm saying the GFS is prone to spin up these tropical cyclones in almost every run during hurricane season, sometimes in the shoulder seasons too. So if it doesn't change, if that's still there tomorrow and the Euro is still hurricane free in 240 hours, then we're going to start going to the Euro. All right, that was a lot of weather. It's changing by the second. Darker clouds to the west, brightening skies to the south. Everything is going to be in flux today. It's a play-by-play kind of day. And it's another Saturday. We haven't had a dry Saturday in New England since, say it, T-Rex, February 22nd. Is that about 13 weeks ago or so? So the Enmore, yesterday I was enthralled with what they were doing down here, delivering those rebars to build a new concrete concourse and redoing the seed here. And Dennis came over and seeded mine a little bit too. So see where Rex is standing? You don't see those purple flowers like right here? I was on my hands and knees pulling those. These are baby knotweeds. And supposedly my soil and seeds were certified. Certified what? I don't even know what that means, but I'm gonna have to do a forensic analysis on certified seed and soil, because I certify this is not good. So I have to pull all this out by hand if I'm to save this garden, and then plant more seed, which I did yesterday. So this is all an experiment. Everything's an experiment. Life is an experiment, right? This is not good. You know what is good? Birds and more. So yesterday, time lapse of the sky, and TK taking a chainsaw to the Alberta spruce. The birds were evicted, and I actually had a little bit of a fire last night, but I'll spare you that and leave you with this bird and more. Thanks for watching. All right, once again, in case you missed it, this is coconut biodegradable double net blanket, Western green, and that's what we have here. And supposedly it's going to be part of my lawn this summer, but it's going to be a challenge. So I'm already starting and more immediately after finishing yesterday's out the door. This is the Saturday and more. So this is where our property turns into Fred's property right here. And I enjoy mowing the lawns for Fred and that property also. And
you know why it washed away? Because it was very loose, it was being disturbed, okay? Yeah. And the water is coming now, look at it, it's coming down this way, and it's coming out through here now. Okay.
Friday lunchtime. Convection has commenced. The first shot over the bow of our Saturday cyclogenesis. And I think these thunderstorms moving along and just north of the Massachusetts Turnpike are kind of laying the tracks for the Saturday cyclone center to go right up through central New England. Mother Nature often sends out these kind of signals. Predecessor rain type situation. Looks like a pretty good downpour. Very small though. Probably missing Boston to the north. Maybe I should set up some time lapse. As if I don't have enough time lapse, but specifically just for this cell. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because there's gonna be a few more cells too. And the birds, of course. Love the birds. 75 degrees The dew point feels like it's at least 60. This kind of weather has returned. Oh, I love this part of the lawn. That bush will be gone. I'll set the time lapse up over here, I guess. Workers were prepping. I don't know where they went. I did talk to Fred. All right, let's just watch this shower and thunderstorm go over your boat. Leif. It's not going to go exactly right over your boat. It's going to miss us to the north, but we can watch your boat and see if it shifts with the wind. Fun watching the boats and the waves in the water. And the boats are like waves going back and forth and back and forth at about 12:10 p.m. Friday, May 30th. All right, that was about 40 minutes or so. Was that exciting? There's some blue sky. The storms mostly went just north of I-95. So this is next step on the Weymouth Big Dig is the rebar. They're gonna start laying concrete for the concourse. And I'm not sure what that truck says. Can you read it? Mass, probably concrete. Yep, thanks. Got it. That makes sense. Concrete company laying the concrete. We'll end up going for a walk down there later in the day, and I'll explain more what's going on for the next phase. Yeah, look at him go. Transit. That's the van I should get, isn't it? All-wheel drive. Rebar. Dog in tall grass. Tick check. Grazing like a cow. Oh, sunshine just came back for a second. That was teased. I haven't talked about the peony in a while. Here they are. First peony opening up. And shocking, there's ants. There's always ants on the peony. They love the nectar. The little peonies come out on May 30th, and they'll be gone by about June 10th. If history is any indication, we love the peony. Well, looks like we've got some Navy SEALs starting to participate, coming ashore. And the shower activity continues. Fairly robust convection, one after another shower. Here we are now an hour later, it's 1:30, and they're all lined up from about Worcester to Cape Ann. So we've got training showers and thunderstorms and really laying the track for tomorrow's cyclone. So some people are getting drenched this afternoon, but most of us are not. Going the other way now with the wind from the southwest, fairly gusty. You can see the currents, Willy Waz, and a ferry. Let's conclude the day how we start the day. Nice and slow, right, T-Rex? 7:30. And we were well into the 70s today, if not near 80. 69 now. And I know I can do a time lapse of the whole day, but it's not as fun as just maybe a time lapse of the sun setting over the next hour while I start dismantling this Alberta spruce and watch the clouds move along the path of cyclogenesis that is occurring tomorrow, which is now today, which is now as we speak. So here comes the sun up from underneath the cloud. So it should be good. When I was a young man, I used to dream about having time lapses of the sky. And now it happens every day. All right, 6:30. What should we focus in on? How's that? Straighten it out. There. Active crows. I don't know if you can see them. I used to be able to tell the difference. And that line of convection from the day has been moving off to our west-northwest. All right, time out now. For the crows flying in front of the moon. I mean, that's the waxing strawberry moon. and the crows are having their babies, and T-Rex wants to come out. Well, the crows are raising their babies. This is the families teaching the kids how to fly. In the bush, in the bush. It's kind of emotional taking that tree down because Doug planted it for his uncle a long time ago, and it just didn't make it through the big dig in the winter. Ceremonial orange hat, goggles, ceremonial ski the east shirt, long pants, gloves are coming on. Orange is my color. Saying goodbye to that Alberta spruce, except for maybe the nest at the very top of it. Mitt was out, and I'm putting them in. Steve is going in. Christmas lights from probably 2003. 22-year-old Christmas lights, I think. Took a lot of work to get them out, Doug. Little haircut. Sadly, it didn't survive the big dig. It was a rough winter. Euonymus, burning bush on the left, no problem. Dwarf Alberta spruce, problem. The sad thing is, I can actually smell the pine right now as if there was a little bit of life left in it. Clouds continue to move off toward the north. Cyclogenesis incoming. Probably already happened now that you've seen the and more from yesterday. Yesterday's weather today, today's weather tomorrow, and maybe we'll get next week right. Suddenly summer in the forecast. Take it away, Lord. 8:45. The sun is over the horizon. That was kind of a gray disappointment, but we got the moon. And it's never really that disappointing here, no matter what happens, including today, which is yesterday, and today, which is today, and tomorrow, which is the first day of meteorological summer. Is it snowing anywhere in New England? June 1st? Definitely maybe. All right, a couple of time lapses. I'm done talking. See you again tomorrow.